Two people, same salary. 20 years later, one is wealthy, the other is still broke. There are 4 invisible habits that explain that gap. And by the time I get to habit number 4, this is going to feel personal. It's not luck. It's not the economy. It's not even intelligence. Same income, same opportunities, sometimes even the same starting point. So what's actually different? Not tips, not budgeting hacks. The actual mental wiring underneath it. Stay until the end, because pattern number 4 is the one almost nobody admits to themselves. Here's the first thing that separates them. One type of person sees money as something that happens to them. A paycheck arrives, bills take it away. Whatever's left over, they spend, because why not? They earned it. The other type sees money as something they direct. Every rupee has a job before it even arrives. One mindset asks, what can I buy with this? The other asks, what can this become? That single question, repeated 1,000 times over a decade, is the difference between 2 completely different lives. But here's the uncomfortable part. I know people who earn very little and still build wealth slowly. And I know people who earn a lot and are one bad month away from zero. So let's go deeper, because the real difference is habit number 2. Wealthy-minded people are not smarter. They're just willing to feel behind on purpose for a while. They watch other people upgrade their phone, their car, their lifestyle, and they wait. Money that's spent today feels good today. Money that's left alone gets stronger, quietly, slowly, without applause. There's no dopamine hit for compound growth. It doesn't feel rewarding in the moment. That's exactly why most people never do it. The people who build wealth aren't more disciplined by nature. They just decided the wait was worth it before they had any proof it would be. Now, if you're thinking, okay, so just save more money, that's not it either. Saving isn't the skill. This next one sounds boring on paper. It's not. And it's where most people actually get stuck. Permanently. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Avoiding all risk is a decision. And it's usually the one that keeps people stuck. The wealth-minded person isn't reckless. They're not gambling. But they understand that money sitting completely still, protected from every possible risk, is also slowly losing to time, inflation, and opportunity. Money earning 3% while inflation runs at 6% isn't safe. It's losing value every single day, just slowly enough that you never feel it happening. Meanwhile, the other mindset treats safe as the only acceptable option, not because it's actually safer, but because uncertainty is uncomfortable. Comfort feels like safety, but it isn't. One person asks, what if I lose money? The other asks, what does it cost me to do nothing? Sometimes taking one calculated step forward is safer than standing still forever. This is the difference. Wealthy people don't wait until they're certain. They move when the risk makes sense. Not blind risk, calculated risk. There's a huge difference. Calculated risk begins with learning, planning, and understanding, not guessing. Every successful journey begins with one small decision, not one giant leap. Okay, 3 down. But this last one, this is the one that actually explains why smart, hard-working people stay stuck. Remember, I told you at the start this one would feel personal. Most people don't fail at building wealth because of a math problem. They fail because of an identity problem. Somewhere along the way, from family, from culture, from childhood, a lot of people quietly absorb the belief, people like me don't end up wealthy. Nobody says it directly. It's rarely even a sentence. It's a feeling passed down through 100 small moments. A parent's stress about bills. A relative saying, know your place? Little moments like these quietly become beliefs. Nobody teaches these beliefs in a classroom. They slowly become part of how we see ourselves. And here's what happens next. Even when opportunity shows up, the identity doesn't accept it. People avoid the raise, avoid the opportunity, avoid the conversation. Not because they can't succeed, but because succeeding would challenge the story they've believed about themselves. The real block was never money. It was permission. Permission to believe you could become someone different from where you started. This is the pattern nobody wants to admit. Because changing your life first requires changing your identity. The people who eventually build wealth are the ones who quietly rewrite that identity. Not with one dramatic moment, but with 100 small decisions that no longer match the old story. So here's the 4 things together. Direct your money instead of reacting to it. Tolerate the quiet discomfort of waiting. Take calculated risk instead of confusing comfort with safety. And rewrite the identity that was never really yours to begin with. None of these require a special talent. None of them require a lucky break. They simply require noticing which one you've been avoiding and starting there. Remember the two people from the beginning of this video? Same income, same starting point, different life. 20 years later, the difference was never the money. It was the 4 decisions underneath it. You don't need more money to start. You just need to start directing the money you already have. Today, not when things feel easier. If pattern 4 hit different for you, that's usually the one worth sitting with. Subscribe, because next time I'm breaking down how to actually start rewriting it. I'll see you in the next one.